tends to work out of so you may find that some people would only be in position to do only one number in section B. So if you only do one number in section B, yet you are supposed to do two numbers. So you may find that in one way or the other, it could affect your performance. Then number two, some of you underlined points. So in this paper 2, you are not supposed to underline points. You are supposed to give your points in an essay form, basically when it comes to section B. Therefore, you may find that in one way or the other, that is one of the mistakes which was done by some of you. Underlining points. Underlining points, it is not accepted, be it in section A, be it in section B. Then another thing, most of you numbered points. So you could find that someone in section B writing an essay, then numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you may find that that one is not allowed. You are not supposed to number your points. Even if it is section A, don't number points. You just give your work. The teacher will be in position to see your work and mark your work and award you accordingly. Then number 4, some of you didn't scan your work properly. So you could find that some work was faint. You could not easily read the work because of the scanning. Therefore, you have to try always your level best to bring out something which is clear, which each person can be in position to see, to ensure that each and every work you have submitted can easily be read. Then some of you submitted in work as a group, yet marks were supposed to be given to an individual. So you may find that some of you will not have your marks. Why? It is because you may find that you had to send in work as a group. Yet if we receive work for an individual. And if you are to award, you award an individual. You cannot award the whole group. So you may find that some of you, I think you didn't know that, but in one way or the other, there is no way you could hand in as a group and each and every person receives his or her own mark. So mark was supposed to go to an individual. So you may find that that is some of the errors which actually transpired during exams, and try to adjust next time to ensure that we do not get such challenges. So we look at the marking guide, whereby question 1 was requesting for the definition of marketing. So we looked at marketing some time back. Therefore, you may find that. Yes, sir.
What you do, you first stop sharing, and then when you're sharing, only share the window, the PowerPoint window, because it is sharing the entire screen, and it is there is some message which has been coming that move away this. I don't know if you can go to slideshow so that you can see the words better.
Let me try it out. How is that, sir?
Okay, it is coming. Okay. Yeah, it is now. The other message has gone away. Okay, it's okay, you can proceed.
Thank you, sir. So we are looking at the definition for marketing, and according to the definition, of marketing. It is going out, or it refers to going out and finding what customer requirements are. So you may find that in one way or the other, that is our definition for marketing. However, some people were bringing in other ideas, but here you are not supposed to beat around the bush, because in one way or the other, you may have to bring in some words which may take you totally off as regards to the definition of marketing. Yet we said it is all about going out and finding what customer requirements are. Then we looked at part B, the objectives of marketing. Why should marketing be done? Why should we involve ourselves in marketing? So you could find that in one way or the other, one of them is to target a new market. So you could find that if you have customers, those customers are not enough. You may find that as regards to the business which is supposed to prosper, you always have to widen your market. The only way you can widen your market is through marketing. Then number two, to improve image of products or a business. So you may find that through marketing, you are able to improve the image of the products, because people get to know most of the products you have and get to know how they can use those products. And if those products are improved, then also customers get to know how the products are improved. Therefore, marketing is so important towards that. And also the business itself. You may find that in one way or the other, you may have the business name known to each and every person, because you carry out marketing, you advertise using different platforms. Therefore, people get to know about the business. Then also to develop new products. So if you come up with new products in one way or the other, there is no way how people will get to know about those new products. Basically, if you do not try to use different media of advertising, and that is under marketing. So it will help you to ensure that in one way or the other, new products, you can easily have new products, because even you get complaints from people about your product. Therefore, you may also be in position to be creative, to have other products in order to retain the customers you have and also to get new customers. Also, marketing tends to increase sales revenue and profitability, because as you target new market, you may bring in new customers on board, and they are in position to buy your products. They are in position to buy a lot of your products. At the end of the day, you get revenue. The business will be in position to have a lot of profits. And you may find that the aim why you started the business, it is all about earning and getting profits. So you may find that in that area, you are supposed to get 3 marks. So if you could give any of those ones, you would just get your 3 marks. So you may find that at least some of you tried your level best and you are in position to earn those marks. Then part C was requesting marketing functions, And those are some of the marketing functions which we also looked at. So you may find that we had consumer analysis, we had distribution planning. So basically in section A, we need brief answers. An answer which cannot exceed 3 lines, exceed 2 lines. You have to be brief, but not so much brief. Like avoid answers of 1 word. Therefore, in one way or the other, if you are brief, don't be too brief. So some of the marketing functions, we have consumer analysis, distribution, planning, promotion, planning, environment, analysis, product planning, marketing management, and also price planning. So you could give any of those 4, and then you could go away with your 4 marks. Remember, section A, in one way or the other, was out of 20 marks. So basically, you would easily earn those marks if you could give your work in a systematic way. Therefore, I'm encouraging you that always read, because section A covers the whole syllabus. So you may find that if you perform very well in section A, automatically you will also be in position to handle section B very well. Because you may find that in a standard paper, section A is for 40 marks. Therefore, if you get like 37 out of 40, then automatically it will give you a go-ahead also to handle a section B questions very well, and you can easily perform with a distinction 1. So I'm encouraging you that you try your level best to ensure that as well you can be in position to pass very well with a distinction. Then part D was requesting for stages in product life cycle. So we looked at those stages in a more detailed way. Therefore, even here, you were not supposed to explain them. You were supposed only to state them, then you could get your 4 marks. So stage 1, you may find that a person could give a production, another one, development, growth, maturity, and decline. So in that area, most of you were able to answer that part because you were following so well those stages of product life cycle. Then we have part D. Part D was asking the objectives of pricing. Why should pricing take place? So you could find that point number 1, to target market share. Target market share. So you may find that in one way or the other, you price your products when you are targeting a particular portion in the market. So that also you have customers who will be in position to buy your products, however much you may have competitors. So for example, if you are producing liquid soap, you may be in position to compete with other companies producing similar products. Therefore, if you are pricing, you have to ensure that there is a particular market for you are targeting in order to compete favorably with other competitors or with other people in the same business. Then to target return on investments, target returns on investments. So after injecting some resources in the business, in one way or the other, what are you going to get back as profits? You are supposed also to look at that, because any business which is carried out, it is carried out with a purpose. You see that at least there is something which is supposed to be a proud back after investing in a particular project or in a particular business. Then point 3, to stimulate growth of the business. So you may find that you price your products to ensure that the prices you have come up with for products will help the business go from one level to another, from one step to another, so that you will not scare away customers. But however, those customers you are having will help you to move your business from one level to another, because the prices which you are charging, they are fair to them. They feel they are not cheated. They feel that they are not burdened with the prices. Then, number 4, to maintain price leadership arrangement. So with that arrangement, here we look at the price which is cutting across. So in one way or the other, you are not supposed to have a price which is slightly so high as regards to other competitors. So you have to be in position to maintain price leadership. You have a price which is reasonable, so that you do not have to share away customers in order to continuously support you in business. Then maximize short-run profits. So because you have always to keep on producing goods, and remember, money is the blood for the business. So you have to ensure that you maximize profits in short run in order to remain in business, in order to remain operating. Because if you fail to get working capital, and working capital is supposed to be received within a short period of time, if you fail to get working capital, it will be very hard for you to operate routinely or regularly. So you carry out pricing to ensure that you maximize profits within a short run. Then also to maximize long-term profits. So you could find that in one way or the other, to have a business to run successfully, you are supposed to maximize profits in long run, because as the business continuously tends to exist for some good years, months, you may find that it keeps on expanding its operations, and those operations can only be supported with the profits which are earned in the long run for it to remain in existence. So you may find that in one way or the other, you are supposed to be considerate when it comes to pricing to ensure that you remain in business. Then we look at a part E, where you were asked about the importances of marketing. Why is marketing important? So under such a question, you had to give only four importances. Then you go away with your 4 marks. For example, to find what customers' requirements are. So you may find that if you are in position to carry out marketing, you have high chances of determining what customer requirements are, so that you can be in position to fulfill them. Failure to do that, the customers are going to run away. So remember, we say that customers are the kings. A customer is a king. So in one way or the other, a customer is also always right. So once there are some requirements, you as an entrepreneur, you have to try your level best to fulfill those requirements. Also to determine future consumer requirements. So you may find that as time moves on, tastes and preferences for consumers change. So for you in marketing, it helps you to determine the future customer requirements, because you have always to keep in touch. You go outside there, you talk with customers so that they can inform you what their requirements might be in some years to come. Failure to do that, you may find that you fail out. So marketing helps so much to ensure that customers' requirements in the future are catered for. Then you may find that number 3 provides employment opportunities. So when marketing is carried out, in most cases, it is not easy to carry it as an individual. However much you may find that the business is at small scale, at least you may have 2 people assisting you to move out, to interact with customers, to carry out research in the field. Because if you do it alone, you may find that it might be challenging and you cannot manage to handle the whole process of marketing. So you can move out with a particular person, 1 or 2. Then such people, you can even be in position to pay them a slight amount of money so that they can be in position to work with you to carry out marketing. Then to make profits for the business. So through marketing, after identifying what customer requirements are, you are in position to fulfill them. So if you fulfill the requirements of customers, it will help you to be in position to at least provide the goods which those people want. At the end of the day, your profits will, you will earn profits in your business, because once you satisfy customers, those customers will have to buy your products and get profits. Then helps in proper allocation of resources. Remember, we have scarce resources. So you can easily use your resources appropriately if in one way or the other you carry out marketing. Why? Because here you may find that you are not just going to produce for the sake of producing, but you produce as per the requirements of consumers or customers, so that you don't just produce things which customers do not want, things which customers are not going to buy. So you are in position to go out and determine what customer requirements are. Then you produce appropriately depending on the requirements of customers. Then helps to satisfy customers' needs. So because you go outside there and you interact with customers, you are in position to satisfy their needs after knowing what their requirements are. You go and you produce as regards to what customers' requirements are, so that you are in position to fulfill their needs. Then we move now to section B. So section B, question number 1 was requesting for factors considered when choosing a channel of distribution. So here, if you state one of the factors, you are supposed to explain very well. Some of you were not explaining very well some of the points. That is the reason why some didn't perform very well. But those are some of the points. For example, the sale of output over there. Then nature of the product. Because here we see that perishable goods, some of them do not need so many people to handle them, like milk. If you have so many people handling products like milk, such products can easily go bad. So you have to use a direct channel of distribution if you are to distribute a product like milk. So you may find that such products do not need a lot of people to handle them. They will get spoiled. Then location of customers. So if customers are located within a small area and they are scattered, so a direct channel of distribution can as well work because you can easily reach them. But if you find that customers are in distant areas, therefore you have to try your level best to use another channel of distribution. For example, from the producer to the wholesaler, from the wholesaler to the retailer, then finally to the consumer. Then also channels used by competitors. So here you may find that if competitors use a different channel of distribution, then for you, you use the one which is so appropriate. For example, you have a competitor using from the producer, wholesaler, retailer to the consumer. So for you, you can decide to use a direct form of channel of distribution so that you easily take your goods to customers. That one will attract customers. That one will help you to get customers. For example, if for you fry snacks, you can take those snacks to your customers so that you do not use another channel which your competitors use, and for you cannot be in position to compete with them. So this channel of distribution, which I've talked about of direct channel of distribution, for you it will give you a chance to reach out to your customers within a shortest period of time, and it will help you to get so many customers. Then cost effectiveness. Here you look at the money you are supposed to spend when you are distributing your goods. So you have to use a channel which is slightly cheap, because the main reason for starting a business is to maximize profits. Therefore, you are not supposed to spend a lot of money when it comes to distributing products. So come up with a channel which is cost effective, which will not take a lot of money. Then size and nature of the market. So also that one is a channel of distribution, which at least you would be in position to come up with. Look at Part B. Part B was requesting for the roles of middlemen. What roles are middlemen play when it comes to business? Role number one is advertising. So middlemen assist us so much when it comes to advertising. So you may find that in one way or the other, they participate in that aspect of informing customers about what goods are to be offered onto the market. Then number two, minimize transport costs. So middlemen facilitate the physical movement of goods from producers to the final consumer. So you may find that customers get a chance of having goods delivered to them without incurring a lot of costs. Then number three, information. So you may find that in one way or the other, middlemen facilitate the flow of information. So you could find that the producer could easily get information from customers, And at the end of the day, you may find that in one way or the other, the producer is in position to act to the complaints of customers. So that one assists so much, because however much customers do not reach out to producers themselves, middlemen help to take that information. At the same time, middlemen bring a feedback from producers to customers. So that channel of communication is facilitated by the middlemen. Then financing the business. So they assist in financing the business, e.g. a wholesaler, by paying manufacturers or a manufacturer prominently, appropriately, because in one way or the other, after production has taken place, then you may find that here the middleman has to go to the factory and buys those goods. So basically, you may find that a producer can easily receive money from goods, because you may find that the middleman is in position to buy those goods from him. Therefore, the business is funded, the business is facilitated with the assistance of the middleman. Then stabilizing price. Stabilizing price is reached at when you may find that in one way or the other, there is flow of goods whereby we do not experience a shortage, because there is no continuous supply of goods. But middlemen try to carry out continuous flow of goods. Therefore, you could find that basically that one helps so much in stabilizing price. Then provide consumer services. So you find that middlemen are even in position to give credits to trustworthy customers. They even give guarantee to customers. So those are some of the services which are given by the middlemen. Then we look at number 3, part A, where reasons for persuading customers to buy products were asked. Why should customers be persuaded? So to increase consumer awareness of a product, so that consumers get to know what the product is all about. Then number 2, to remind customer of the existence of the product. So here you may find that the customer is always reminded about the existence of the product. As individuals, we tend to forget. Therefore, through persuasion, a customer is reminded about the product. Then to encourage increased purchases by existing customers. So because of marketing, always once a customer gets information about a product, that customer is always willing to buy more of that product. So it is always like something in his or her mind trying to entice him or her to buy more of a particular product. Then another one to develop the public image of the business. Public image of the business. Because in one way or the other, it will give a go-ahead of the product. Part B are factors considered when choosing an advertising media. So if you could explain those points very well, you may find that here they were around there were around 8 points which were asked, and you had to explain those 8, then you could have 16 marks awarded. So here we looked at the cost of media. We said the advertising media should not be so expensive because the aim of having a business is to make profits. The social class, when you are advertising, you should know which people you are talking to, which people you want to get the information. So if you are advertising to the youth, you have to use television and also magazines. The same applies to first class people. You use television and magazines if you are talking to our local people, or if you want information to reach local people, you use radios and also newspapers, which are not so expensive. The geographical area to be covered. So here, if you want a larger geographical area, then it is better use a radio because radios tend to cover a wider area. Then the age group is also one of the factors, speed and urgency, then also the read time. So you are supposed to look at those factors. Then also uh, factors affecting pricing decisions. So you could find that any of 5 points well explained, you could get 10 marks. Like costs involved. When you are involved in production, the cost of production helps you when you are pricing a product to ensure that you do not come up with a price which will make you to make losses. Then demographic factors, government influence, the level of competition, then channel of distribution used. We looked at those points in a more detailed way. So I think some of you can as well recall those ones so well. Then we looked at also methods of pricing. So we looked at one of them as cost-based pricing. So you price a product depending on how much you had to incur when it comes to production. So you have to determine the price to ensure that you do not make a loss when you are determining your price. Then we also looked at demand and supply-based pricing. So here you price a product depending how customers are demanding a product, depending on how the supply is, because there is a law of demand that the higher the demand, the higher the price, the lower the demand, the lower the price, other factors remaining constant. So you have to determine a price depending on those two market forces, the demand and supply force. Then competition based on pricing, we have contribution pricing, we have price discrimination pricing, and also we have government pricing policy. So you may find that the government comes out to state the price for essential goods so that people are not cheated. When it comes to items like fuel, the government has to come in to determine the price at which dollars in fuel did not go beyond. So members, thank you so much. Let me request that you supplement on those methods of pricing. So try to supplement on those methods of pricing. Rachel, supplement. Rachel, or any other? Okay, Ariam. Supplement.
teacher.
Good morning. How are you?
No, I'm fine. I was just telling you that we've been in a lesson, but as if you were the one only there who were not participating. So it was just boring.
Okay, sorry for that. But as well, you can also try, because the time we started a little bit late and we had to go through the whole paper. So Akram, can you as well try to supplement?
Yeah, Mr. Ssendegeya.
Yes, Mr. Rogers.
It's okay. Actually, I requested that you go through quickly, and because there was the time had gone, and the learners, because they did this as an exam, and these were corrections.
Yes, sir.
It was not a normal lesson. Yeah, the notes, we shall put them on the Google Classroom, the marking guide, so that they can use it for revision.
Okay, sir.
We could just get if they had any feedback. Ariam and Rachel, we want to thank you for being on and up to this time. This is actually our last lesson for this particular program. On Thursday, we shall be having a general assembly with all other learners, and we discuss the way forward for the program. But for this phase, we are going to be ending here. Next week, there are no lessons. In case there is anything else, we shall be able to communicate. In case there is any other programs that will be resuming. But for this particular phase, the lessons are ending this week, and this week the teachers are just giving the corrections, and we are going to have a general assembly on Thursday. Maybe I just want to ask you to give a word to the teacher, maybe a final word. If you have any vote of thanks or anything, and then we shall be ending our lesson. And maybe Mr. Ssendegeya, if you have any final word. Yeah, but let me hear from Rachel or Ariam, and then we close. Unfortunately, I'm not a host, so I cannot unmute them.
Okay, let me try to unmute. Rachel?
Yes.
Okay, anyone to share with us?
Okay, teacher. For me, I want to just thank Edify and Christian Schools Honors Association and the ICT teachers and you are teachers who have been teaching us from the beginning. At least we have picked something. May God richly bless you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. Rachel, give us a closing prayer as we are winding up. But I also want to thank you for participating, because you have always been on time. And I also would like you to as well inform your colleagues that we shall have our platform for Christian Schools Owners Association. So they will have to subscribe in order to have continuous lessons which will be recorded. So Rachel, give us a closing prayer.
Okay, let's humble ourselves and pray. Oh God, we thank you for the lesson that we have been in. We thank you for the teacher who has taught us, and we have now picked up things that he has given to us, oh God. We thank you for everyone who has attended the lesson from the beginning to the end, oh God. Come and be with us until we end all this program, oh God. We thank you for everything, for providing the life you've given to us, oh God, Father. Thank you, Lord. We have picked something from the teacher. Bless him, guide him wherever he will be going, oh God, Father. I pray all this, believing you have heard in Jesus Christ, our Lord, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
You're welcome.
Mr. Ssendegeya, you can end the meeting. Maybe the learners, I just want to encourage them to, we are going to continue making some video lessons, which we shall be sharing through the Google Classroom. The Google Classroom is going to remain open, and some notes and some lessons, so that even during November, they can continue doing some revision. So all we ask you is to subscribe to the Christian School Owners Association YouTube channel. You'll be seeing the videos there, and also to remain in the Google Classroom. And,
Merry Christmas.
Okay, Merry Christmas to you. Okay, Mr. Ssendegeya, you can end the lesson, the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
You click on the end button and then